mentioned a few times when it comes to what system of self-defense you should kind of focus on heavily, one of the ones that I come back to a lot is Jiu Jitsu. Now, even though yes, they do teach self-defense through perspective, most Jiu Jitsu academies do focus on sport-oriented Jiu Jitsu. They're focused on progressing, trying to get to a more dominant position, get the points, look for submission, beat your opponent, that type of thing. When it comes to street self-defense, you have to kind of twist on how you're learning those techniques. So yes, you still want to focus on how we break away from those techniques, but instead of always progressing further onto the ground, for self-defense, you want to get the hell out of there. So today we're going to focus on what happens if you were inside your attacker's guard, how do we break out of that guard, and how do we get away safely so that we are not further putting ourselves into a worse position on the ground. So let's check it out. When you're in this guard position, you have to understand what the attacker's objective is. First of all, they're going to have their feet locked behind you nice and tight, and they're either going to be having their legs nice and low or a little bit higher up on your back. Either way, they're sucking you in, most likely, and trying to keep you tight to their stomach. At the same time, again, because this is a street situation, they're most likely going to be pulling down your head, squeezing nice and tight, or trying to throw some sort of punch to your face or the back of your head. Either way, I cannot stay in this position. So, in the middle of all this, as you're trying to break free from these grips, you have to constantly work your body back up to a nice posture position. And what this allows you to do is prevent him from being able to suck you back in. If I can maintain this posture, I can now start working ways to break out of this grip. If I lose control of this and he sucks me back in, it's gonna be very difficult for me to work myself back up a second time. So just keep that in mind. Now, I need to make sure that this person's back and shoulders stay flat up against the ground. So you have one of two ways that you can do this during this process. One, I can grab their waistline and I can either grab it and make a nice tight fist with my hands and drive my knuckles into their abdomen, or I can simply just put my heel palms up against their hip. Basically what this does is as he's trying to pull me in with his legs, it pushes into his diaphragm, which makes it very difficult for him to deal with that type of pressure. So a lot of times they're going to give up, or they may keep trying, feel the pressure, and then relax. Either way, this is a dominant position for you to maintain that posture. Second way that you can do this is same idea, only this time I'm posting my hands inside their armpit or on their biceps. So same idea, as he's trying to lean into me and grab me, or as he's trying to pull himself in, this allows you to keep him on the ground and allows you to maintain your posture. Now, depending on which one you prefer, depends on your height and your size and strength and everything, but again, either which one works. So, jumping into the techniques itself. When you're in this position, the first thing obviously I have to do is I have to break these grips free. Since this is a street situation, my best bet, if I'm able to get my hands through the middle, great. If not, reach around, start clawing at the face a little bit. If you have the length in your arms to throw a couple strikes, go for it, but otherwise, start digging in the face a little bit with your fingers and claws. As he starts releasing those hands, now I'm gonna posture up immediately. Again, same thing goes if I'm throwing strikes. As soon as this grip breaks free, I'm posting up. But again, while you are doing these strikes, I'm not just sitting here waiting for that grip to break free. I'm constantly starting to work that posture all at the same time. So claw, do what you need to do, get into this posture position. Now from here, there's three ways that we can break out of this guard. And again, because we're focused on street situations, I'm not going to break past, get side control, get back control like you would with a normal jiu-jitsu type technique. Again, that's more focused on sport. In the street, I need to get the hell out of here as quickly as possible. So first option that you have, when I'm posted in this position, come up a little bit and drive one of your knees underneath your hip and extend the other leg a little bit. Now you can see that their hips are off the mat. I'm gonna now use the same side hand and start posting their knee and trying to staple it to the ground. If they're wearing pants or longer shorts, I can grab that as well and start posting down with that, but otherwise, post and staple the knee to the mat. Keeping everything nice and tight, knowing that he's still gonna be trying to pull me in, he's still gonna be coming up trying to reach for me. Instantly start going for strikes. Strike for the groin. If the head pops up, strike to the face. Otherwise, I wanna maintain control of the knees, and I'm simply just working myself out. Under no circumstances should you just stand up in the middle and start walking back. One of two things, either they're gonna pull you right back in, or as I start coming up, he may start attacking your legs, grappling your legs, and you're gonna still find yourself in a bad position. So when you get into these positions, you've stapled the knees, simply just work yourself out. Your second option, again, you can kind of choose. I prefer to post up in the armpits. Again, I'm a little bit shorter, so this is what works best for me. But from this position, I want you to post up with one foot. Your other foot is gonna drive the knee right into their hip bone. I'm now gonna take my back leg and simply sit back down on it, and notice that my knee is now driving right up through the middle of his legs. A lot of times their hip's gonna fall down to the mat at this point. The grip has broken. At this point, I'm not gonna be reaching up here. I'll probably reach down here or start working my elbows back. And again, I'm working towards their knees, posting these down a little bit, and we start kind of working ourselves out. At any point during any of this, if once you get to this position, you wanna stand up and get away safely, I do have the option to stomp down on the ankle, break the ankle, severely sprain the ankle. Either way, it prevents this person from being able to get up, and I can get away safely. Your third option, I'm going to post with one leg, post with the other leg, and I'm going to stand and arch my back, again, assuming that this person is still holding on to you. You're going to step back with one leg The same leg that you step back, again, I'm gonna start pushing down on that knee, but at the same time with this one, start shaking your hips a little bit. It makes it harder for them to maintain that grip. And as I'm shaking my hips, I'm simply just pressuring down with this leg. Again, I staple that knee to the mat. I can simply just push off his knee a little bit, or I can hook under and toss his leg to the side. And again, I work to safety. From the beginning of all this, they're grabbing, they're pulling you down, he's grabbing nice and tight. I work my strikes, I start digging my fingers into his eyes a little bit. I feel that this grip is broken, so I'm instantly gonna come up to a postured position. Now, from here again, you should also be able to chain these together in case they defend any of this. So if I start going for this position per se, and this grip's getting real hard, then maybe I pop up and come right back down into this. And again, it's the idea that I can chain all these different breakaways together, but either way, all I'm looking is for the feet to break. Once that connection breaks, pin the knees to the mat and just start working your distance out of there, get the safety. Again, if you end up in a position where you kind of have the legs broken and you're holding onto a leg, I can literally just pass the leg through and toss the hips to the side to get the person to turn a little bit. That way I can run and get to safety. 3 ways that you can get out of a guard position. Once again, because this is a street situation, we want to make sure that we get out as quickly as possible, we maintain our posture, we get away safely, and we do not, under any circumstances, try and progress forward. Now, if it was a situation where you're a law enforcement officer or weapons are involved or whatever the case is where you actually need to subdue the person from there, then yes, there are options that we can show you at a later time of how do we pass properly and make sure that we control your attacker. But if it's just a simple, someone's got you in a guard, they're holding you down, they're pounding your head in, get the hell out of there, get to safety again, do the damage that you need to do so that the grip breaks free. But try those options out, let us know what you think, which one works best for you. We'll see you next time.